Alright everyone, I don't really want to spend a third day having to make a video about the Covington bullcrap, but apparently I do, because, you know, people are still spreading bullshit about it, and unfortunately some people believe it, although some groups, like yesterday, began to retract some of their claims, saying, well, you know, maybe we shouldn't be trying to ruin the lives of a bunch of high schoolers. You know, they sort of waffle around actually apologizing. Some of them backed up, like Gutfeld, and some others saying, well, you know, we were mistaken to begin with. It's more complex than how we were regarding it initially. But the two funny things here, links in the descriptions. The first is an archived link actually to the SPLC's posting about this, in which they make the most disingenuous fucking half-hearted argument. It's like, at first they said, well, you know, this is hatred on display, this is Trump's America, sort of the standard SPLC tripe that you get. But then they make another tweet saying, oh, you know, of course, now the next day, we recognize, of course, there's a bit of a debate about what happened. There are some different views coming out. No, there's not. There's no national debate over the Covington crap being held by any sane person. Look, we can look at the video footage for ourselves. Welcome to the internet. It's a wonderful place. I have like 4 different clips, 4 different angles of the same event, none of them showing the Covington kids doing anything wrong. One of them shows one of the Indigenous Peoples March members saying something potentially bigoted, but even then it's like, you know, where's the antagonism, dude? Nobody's, there's no fists flying. Nobody threw anything. Nobody started rambling red-faced and swearing at each other. Why exactly did this, like, strike a chord with so many people to begin with? And I'll tell you what it is. A bunch of kids wearing MAGA hats were purported to have, in a mass manner, done something racist. But the only reason that you would ever believe that these kids were bigots is if you were reading the initial headlines that said they approached some marchers, sort of surrounded them, and were jeering at them. None of those things were true. They were approached. They didn't jeer at anyone. One of the kids he's been doxxed. He gets mentioned by Trump of all people. He gets doxxed. He's got people threatening his home. He's got people threatening to bomb his school. He's got people threatening to punch him randomly if he walks down the street. You can't even imagine the incalculable damage that this fake news bullshit has done to his life. Now, he probably gets a great scholarship, maybe gets a lucrative GoFundMe, but I mean, for at least some time to come, yeah, he's going to watch his back. Because he's going to have a bunch of people who honestly, genuinely believe the crap that comes from the SPLC or BuzzFeed or Vox, they believe he is a Nazi now. And so he's got a target on his back for a bunch of leftists. He'll have to move to Wyoming or some non-hostile territory, I guess. So that's dumb. Their response. You know, is bullshit. It's basically it's attempting to gaslight, really. Oh, there's a national debate over this, so, you know, the jury's still out. Well, that's funny. The day before you didn't act like the jury was out on what happened. You made all sorts of declarative statements about bigotry on display and evil MAGA hat wearers, and how it was Trump's America and stuff. You acted like the story was ironclad, you knew what had happened. Then, when legal problems began, when the Covington kids said that's not what happened, and we're lawyering up, oh yeah, there's a national debate to be had over this, and a bunch of old tweets start disappearing. How fucking disingenuous. And the SPLC, remember, is partnered with a bunch of for-profit billion-dollar Silicon Valley firms to police content and give advice on censoring people. Yeah, I'm sure that makes the internet a much better, more stable place to be. And then you have from Uberfax a tweet, second link in the description, creating another false reality. A picture from 10 years ago of a game, I guess a basketball game being held by Covington was posted. And it was carefully cropped to make it look like a bunch of kids in blackface were jeering at a black opponent on the field, which is, again, not what happened. There's a different picture panned out of the whole group, and apparently it's just like, it's called the Blackout game, and what you do is everyone, like, wears just black clothes, maybe they paint themselves black, and that's just, like, I can remember, you know, you know, at pep rallies or something. You know, and my high school's colors weren't black or anything. People would wear, like, blue face paint and stuff like that. Like, nobody thinks that's racist. Like, oh, yeah, blue man group, you're being racist against them or something like that. No, the fact is, a person putting black face paint on, divorced of any further context, would not generally be considered a racist thing by sane people. But if you've already made up your mind because MSNBC told you so, that these kids are a bunch of virulent bigots with a school that's virulently bigoted, they're horrible people and they're looking for ways to harass minorities, then it starts looking bigoted. but they call their team the Crazies, like their team cheers, like being crazy or something. It looks more like they're dressed as jesters. That is it. This isn't blackface. That's like jester paint and shit, like a fake smile, like a clown makeup or something. So what? ICP fans, I guess they're all racist. Raiders fans, they're all racist. Well, that might be true because they're Raiders fans. I'm just joking here, you know, it's banter. No, these kids aren't a bunch of bigots, and I hope that they sue all these groups that are defaming them. Yeah, you should probably consider suing the SPLC. They made objective, declarative statements a couple days ago that this was Trump's America bigotry on display, and they've got their little article. They kind of walk it back without actually apologizing, probably for the same legal reasons. They don't want to piss you. They want to be out of the line of fire while not retracting, because that sort of admits guilt now, doesn't it? Could be a big legal problem for a lot of these people, especially those, and there are pundits doing this, trying to dox people who aren't even 18. My God, yeah, we're the problem. The problem with hate everyone is a bunch of YouTubers. It's certainly not the fact that the legacy media whips people up into a frenzy like this, so a bunch of high schoolers, and their high school has to remove their Facebook page, shut off their phone lines, and deal with like 10 bomb threats and a bunch of school shooting threats and stuff. That's not hate. It's not bad. It's not a big problem. Journalism is sacrosanct, but those YouTubers, someone said something edgy or mildly offensive online, that's going to cause attacks on minorities. These kids are all at risk for being attacked, along with their families and everyone who works and lives around this school. You're going to end up with protesters fucking camping out on the block. It is so fucking stupid how this has been handled. And it's so fucking stupid. You try to get through to some of these fucking numbskulls, these dunderheads that have gotten it into their head that these kids actually like approached and antagonized anyone. You can show them the clips and look. Tell me where in the clip they said anything about the wall at all. Not that that's racist either. I mean, Native American's not a race. Indigenous people isn't a race. It's really not. You can look at it as a sub-ethnicity, I suppose, or a national origin sort of status. It's not a race, though. A Native American might be, look, there are indigenous people in this world that aren't Mesoamerican, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. These poor kids have been dragged through hell for several days, and it's because of the legacy media, and there are still people that trust this legacy media. Again, Trump comes out, he defends me, he's like, wow, looks like they got it totally wrong. Yeah, the fake news media does that all the time. He just scored brownie points on you leftists, by the way. You just handed him another arrow in his quiver. He'll probably take this to the floor of the national debate that will rage, which is during the election. Say, oh yeah, remember that time that the left-wing media, you know, tortured a bunch of kids and almost got their school attacked, you know, because of a lie? Remember that? Yeah, we can trust these people. They're certainly not enemies of the United States, a bunch of for-profit corporations. Well, yeah, they kind of are the enemy of common sense. They're the ones trying to keep us in Syria. All of them unanimously agree we should still be there. Rand Paul is wrong. Trump is a bad person. These kids are racist. Oh, they're not racist? Well, here's a picture from years ago that doesn't even involve probably them, because it's badly dated, that shows them in blackface. Their school has a racism problem. No, it doesn't. There's another picture of them in all white face, too. I guess it's Whiteout Day. I guess it's like a tradition. They do both for some reason. I don't know how fun that is, but it's sort of like this pep rally bullshit that I always hated in school. Quick story. Senior year. At the last pep rally, my graduating class, during the pep rally, you know, they would have us like cheer, and whoever was loudest got like, you know, shitty pizza or something. They would order us like cardboard pizza. We sat it out. We managed to organize sitting out the cheer for pizza segment of the pep rally, except for one person who I won't name, and it's like legendary. In fact, I hope there's video of it somewhere, him being the only faltering voice that said yay, and then, you know, within 2 seconds he was silent. It was uproarious. We were louder laughing at the fact that that had happened than anyone else was cheering, and then everyone booed us, and it was really funny. And then we got a stern talking to. The teacher's like, that was very disrespectful. It's like, yeah, no one's disrespecting the sports teams. We're willing to cheer for them and stand for them and the cheerleaders and the musical section. That's great, but you're asking us to just sit there and scream like orangutans in order to get shitty pizza. Not gonna happen, dude. So I think we're probably the only ones that ever pulled that off, too. I'm really proud of my graduating class. I think we did pretty well. You know, I was in it. It's pretty great. No, the Covington high school kids aren't bigots, and the SPLC knows better. Their lawyers probably told them not to fully retract. In all honesty, their lawyers probably say, nope, don't back off your position, just claim ignorance. Oh, there's a national debate raging, that sounds good. No, there's not. There's no debate to be had. We have video evidence of the whole thing. We have hours of footage. We know that the kids didn't do anything racist. We know they didn't attack or antagonize anyone. It's really, really funny. That's about all. Peace out.